Hey everybody, this is Perch, and this is a week ago now, more than a week ago. There was this stat that came out from Diamond and Comicron. There was a 20% addition of increase in Diamond accounts. And a lot of people did videos about this. They talked about this, but I want to talk. Well, let me just get the basics out of the way, and then we'll get to the actual heart of the video. A lot of people misunderstood that stat, and that's been covered, saying there's 20% more comic accounts. Basically, some people translate it to mean 20% more comic shops. Some people translate it to mean 20% more locations are now selling comics. But how's that different from comic shops, you might ask? Let's say that, the local vape store decides to open up a Diamond account to start selling comics. That's basically people all interpreted things in their own ways. But the truth of it is a lot more boring than that. It basically means that there was a 20% growth of new accounts. What isn't in that stat is how many canceled accounts there were, and there were several. Probably, if I'm just guessing, close to 20%. But you might say, aha, see, this is bad news for the industry. It's not bad news. I mean, people creating new accounts, growth is good news, period. Whether it's however they're coming, whether it's a shop selling something additionally, whatever it is. Things that people who have decided to come in and create new accounts, that's good. But at the same time, it's not this indication that business is booming. And unfortunately, as a stat, it doesn't prove or disprove anything. It simply means that, some 20% of new accounts were created through Diamond, some of which were to sell comics, undoubtedly, some of which were to transfer from one account to another, because in 2020, we saw a lot of businesses change hands. Because of the pandemic, there was a lot of status changes in order to apply for PIP loans. There were so there was a lot of that took place. There was a lot of expiring deals that happened. There was, because of the whole lunar situation with DC, there were people who adjusted or changed their Diamond accounts. That would fall in here. And there were places that were signing up to buy games and toys, had nothing to do with comics, but other products Diamond sells. All those things are true. So, the fact that people signed up to do those accounts it's good news for Diamond. It's more business stability, and they probably need it right now. It's good in that, yes, more comic-related product is out there somewhere, or at least is continuing to be out there. So you can't take a look at this stat and say, this is bad news for comics. It's not bad news for comics. It's not, but it's not an indication everything is going swimmingly either. It's a stat. It's a stat that's unrelated. It would be a bit like me saying, I think it's going to rain today. And somebody says, well, why do you say that? And I say, because I enjoyed my coffee. It's nice that I enjoyed my coffee. That has zero to do with the weather. And that's kind of what this is about. So it's not, people have held this up as being kind of a fake stat or bad news or good news. It's none of those things. But that's just kind of the basic of kind of what's going on there. It was strange to see the argument take place. I know Tim Seeley was really jumping on it, a couple others, and it was curious to see people argue about whether this is good news or bad news. More the good news. The people who are like, see, this is proof that all the naysayers are wrong, and this is one of those areas like, I don't know why you're investing your time arguing that point, particularly when you have comic creators doing, GoFundMes and donate money because they're struggling with bills. You have a number of comic writers getting, big advances, while meanwhile the big two are, trying to cut rates wherever they can. If I'm in the comic business, to me, I'm the least incentivized to go out there and start talking about how great the business is. I don't get that mentality. I think that's it's just wrong time, wrong place, wrong strategy. Like, why are you doing that? I think that the best thing to do there is just to promote your own work, be proud of what you're getting, everything else. But to jump in and just start swinging swinging punches. Ron Mars does this a lot too. He likes to jump in there and start trolling people. I thought you thought the business was dying. Like, I don't know what you're getting out of that fight. And literally, I mean, I don't know what the benefit is to you unless you're just bored and you're wanting to throw some mud around. But I mean, it's the stats don't wildly support your claim or really refute it. It's kind of like, again, it's like me going outside and saying, I demand it's going to rain every day for the rest of the year. It's like, well, it probably won't. And what would be the even point of that? I'd be the crazy old man yelling on the street at that point. And that's how this stuff comes across. Again, some self-awareness would go a long ways for kind of comic creators in some cases, because you look crazy when you're doing this. But this growth of accounts is interesting because, unfortunately, there's not enough information from that, brief kind of clip to really digest if the industry is moving in the right direction or not. One of the things that would be healthy, and be healthy for comics, would be healthy for Diamond, is if shops started carrying more, content. Like, for example, if Diamond, they would have to redo some of their business model for sure. It doesn't work the way it is now. But if somebody like a Starbucks could open up a Diamond account and start selling, the very, very small amount of graphic novels and collections in their shop, it fits a little bit their mentality. But if they had a couple in there, like a small little panel. By the way, if you've ever been to Disney World and you go to downtown Disney, there is a Marvel store there, basically, where they sell Marvel merchandise. The neighbor's kid just started coming out. Anyway, but what's there is there's like 12. They sell 12 comics. It's a Marvel store, but they have a tiny thin shelf of about 12 comics that they sell, and you can pick them up there. They're kind of this very weird random assortment of comics, usually Spider-Man and Avengers type stuff. Fits a little bit the merchandise they're selling, but it's 12 comics. Why can't a Starbucks have something similar where they're selling the 4 to 6 kind of graphic novels that they want to place out there at the time? And this would be a case where could Diamond change their model slightly to appeal to customers like that? That would be healthy. I think in general, it would be extremely healthy if there was more. If there was more content out there. So this idea of kind of, you should be able to increase your accounts. You should look to increasing not the same comic business you have, not somebody who's going to order 100 comics a week or any of that kind of stuff, but order a small collection of comics materials. And there should be an outreach program at Diamond trying to get as many auxiliary stores to order something to just start cross-pollinating comics and comic content wherever it could go. Again, this isn't recreating the newsstand. It would require a change in business model to some extent from Diamond, but imagine both the stability in the business and also the health for comics if you are able to sell, even a fraction of the material at a place like Starbucks or like a grocery store or somewhere else. That would be a great thing. And so when we talk about kind of increasing accounts and increasing sales, I think the moment people should recognize, and it's made all the more clear with, Amazon doing what they're doing with Snyder and Substack and the deals that they're making and everything else, is getting comics or comic material, something related to comics, into more stores as much as humanly possible would be the absolute best thing to do right now. So if you're Diamond, trying to have a customer success or customer support team pulling new shops into the mix is maybe not even the best use of your time. The best thing to do would be to do some business development and start to target places where you can sell not a ton of comics, but a small little, basically, insert of comics. Open up the pipeline to more locations where people can get something comic related, and start that process. That would be the best possible thing to do, and that would be growth that, again, a lot of people would point to that and go, oh, look, but they're only selling like 3 or 4 graphic novels. It's like, yeah, but they're selling it in mass locations everywhere. And this is the gateway to getting more customers to get in and buy comics. It would be smart. I say all this because, one, that's a smart kind of just business thing that should happen. But second, when you see these stats, there's often a lot of nuance, complexity, and details to them that you just have to pay attention to, and just kind of running off and using it to claim, see, everything's great, or no, everything sucks. It really doesn't help anything, unless what you're trying to help is basic engagement of trolls. I mean, if that's your goal, then mission accomplished. Well done, sir. Anyway, let me know, where would you like to see comics sold, or something comic, even like a couple graphic novels? What shop, where would you like to see them show up? Let me know in the comments below, and thanks for listening.